2015, we are entering the final round of Swiss. If you're just tuning in for the first time now, my name is Matt Bell, and joining me here is Jerome. And we're going to be looking at European champion Ido Marcus as he takes on Shinsuke Hiyama. And we're going to see a hero versus Tellarknight matchup.
Ido Marcus participated in and won the European Championship, but he represents Israel.
That is correct. Yes, he's from Israel. I remember trying to get his flights over here was a little bit complicated, but we got him here eventually, and he's doing extremely well.
And I'm really glad to see that because Ido Marcus's deck is one of the coolest ones I've seen. There are a number of different variations on the hero deck that we've seen so far, but none of them are like this. And it's got some classic cards that we haven't seen in 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Perfect for the 20th anniversary of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise as a whole. Seeing some classic cards from the very beginning, mixed with a bunch of new cards that are really popular, like Shadow Mist and Darklaw.
Yes, Ido has gone very, very heavy on this on the mass change side of things, and has even got like multiple mass charges where most players would consider only playing one. But he's gone all in on this, and you'll see some of his interesting tech options as they come up during the match. I don't want to go ahead and spoil them right now because it's just so unexpected.
Yes, it would be great if all of you got to experience this naturally.
His opponent is no slouch. It's second place. It's the finalist from last year, Sonsuke Hiyama, who was playing the artifact deck all the way up until the final round of the. Well, there you go. The secret's out of the bag.
The secret's out. It's Mystic Tomato.
Tomato. It's just
you're gonna have to put up with both in this match because there's no way you're going to stop me from saying tomato. Bad news.
Yeah, we'll deal with it. He's also got a hero who lives. He's got a normal summon heavy hand. That's a problem. So
Shinsuke Hiyama starts off with Thunder King and 2 face downs, and Thunder King's actually pretty good here since hero decks very much rely on their ability to search. He cannot, for example, get a search off of Shadow Mist in this scenario.
Oh, he's going to go straight for the acid.
That'll be
because he's already got the mass change.
Oh, he's got mass change already. That'll be pretty good because neither of Shinsuke's cards help in this situation. They're both Call of the Haunted, and Thunder King doesn't help either.
Really interesting. If he uses the acid and destroys both the trap cards, he'll take 600 attack off the Thunder King, and it means this Mystic Tomato can just run straight over it. Just 100 out of being able to crash into it.
Does it lose 300 for each or just 300 total?
I think it's 300 for each card that's destroyed. I can pull that up for you guys.
Let's pull it up. Mass change is activated. Acid comes back. Shinsuke stops him. But he doesn't have anything, so 2 Call of the Haunteds go to the graveyard.
Ah, no, you're right. It's not 300 each, it's 300. Oh, and he summons his own Thunder King Riot.
Oh, that's nasty. He crashes.
No.
Oh, no, he doesn't crash because it's weekend. That's right. That is a stunning turn of events for Shinsuke Hiyama, whose hand is now virtually useless.
I think he may be picking up his cards after this round.
Picks up another trap, and it's Fiendish Chain this time. Shinsuke runs pretty heavy on Monster Effect Negation, which will serve him well in this matchup.
Do you summon the Mystic Tomato into this, or do you just try and outplay the Torrential Tribute? No, he just goes, yeah, I'm doing it.
He senses that Shinsuke's hand is extremely weak and decides to go straight for the throat.
He's just lunging with those cards.
Acid attacks directly. Shinsuke is faced with a choice. Do I want to show that I have the Fiendish Chain here? Or should I just go on to the next one? He Fiendish Chains the Acid. Interesting choice. I don't know that it would have been a fatal blow. Oh no, it would have been a fatal blow. He had to stop something. But honestly, I think I probably would have stopped Ryo so I could negate its effect and start searching if I picked up a Deneb.
So he's drawn Mystical Space Typhoon. Ido playing extremely aggressively.
I actually like the aggressive play. When you see this level of weakness. If you don't see monsters from Tellarknights, you need to get all of their traps out of the way as fast as you can.
Just run straight over them, especially when your monsters are in a higher class. Like the Tellarknights, unless they're actually performing an Exy summon, genuinely can't beat cards like Thunder King Ryo on their own.
And there aren't any Tellarknights right now. That's the problem Shinsuke is running into. Sets another card. Now this Thunder King is strengthened, so you could switch it to attack and crash it into Ito's. But he does not. Another Mystic Tomato. Ito says, if you're not going to swing, I will.
Yep, and then he's got 28 coming in.
First tomato attacks. Shinsuke is going to take that, but he has to block the second one with the other Oasis of Dragon Souls. And then Call of the Haunted, but that's going to get taken out by Mystical Space Typhoon, and Shinsuke has bought himself exactly one more turn.
Well, it's probably Gagaga Cowboy, right?
Does he have it? I would think he's got it.
No, he doesn't. He passed.
He doesn't have it.
Wow.
That's an interesting admission.
For a very aggressive deck like his, it's a surprise he's not playing Gagaga Cowboy. I guess he just has no room with all the fusion monsters that he's using his mass changes on.
He's got, with the triple mass charge, you need a lot of masked heroes.
Yeah, he's potentially, 6 changes in a single game?
Yes. Now, Reinforcement of the Army is Shinsuke's draw. Not bad, but doesn't actually help him. So he thinks about it for a second and sets it.
Yeah, and realizes that there is no Tellarknight he could get that was going to get him out of that.
Yep, not going to happen.
Ridiculous start for a very normal summon heavy hand for Ito, and he goes in on the hero lives, doesn't worry about the back row, goes straight into Acid, sees the cards that were destroyed, realizes his opponent is limping into this match, because he would have set something defensive if he would have had it.
Yeah, if he had it.
And then Ito just goes straight at him.
And Shinsuke doesn't see a single Tellarknight in the entire game. And it's interesting because he's got, the Deneb, Unukai, Altair, 3 each of those, and double Vega, but he's also running Rigel.
He's also running Rigel, which we saw a little earlier today.
And your favorite, Honest.
Honest, I do really like the Honest in this deck.
Now, as for side deck stuff, well, let's take a look. Let's see. Shinsuke's got his Fire Hand and Ice Hand, which are great, except Dark Law banishes everything that goes to your graveyard, so it's not going to be super useful.
Yeah.
Artifact Lancia, all right. Imperial Iron Wall, I think, is probably you got to have a go.
The most
at
important
that.
card there.
That would actually, if you got it in combination with the Fire and Ice Hand, would help you out a lot. It would allow you to get those effects
against
through.
Someone like Ito's deck, where he's throwing everything at you on the field immediately, just being able to use the Fire and Ice hands and resolve them will let you pick apart your opponent's field, and he's probably not getting back into the game without mass charge.
And the interesting thing with mass charge is it's kind of a surrogate Miracle Fusion. I still like Miracle Fusion and wish people would run a copy of it, but if you're not going to run a Miracle Fusion, running multiple copies of mass charge that can get you back a hero and a change spell is the second best thing.
Yeah,
it's just not a straight special summon.
Yeah. Is there anything else in that deck, side deck you think that will help out in this matchup?
No. Galaxy Cyclone, maybe. But
I've got 3 cards in here. Kinetic Soldier, which actually has relevance in this matchup, which is amazing.
Oh my god, we're going so old school. We got Mystic Tomato and Kinetic Soldier.
Yeah, I mean, the last time Kinetic Soldier was a relevant thing was 6 Samurai, and I believe you said it was...
This is like Strike of Neos level 6 Samurai, because there wasn't a whole lot you could do if Gateway looped you out of existence, because they just destroy your Kinetic Soldier with the red and blue Samurai.
Yeah, there's also Maxis in Ito's side deck, which are likely to come in. And he's also got a Black Horn of Heaven, which he could bring in to stop some of those XE summons.
Yeah, it's probably a good plan, especially if he winds up going first. I don't think he'll get to go first. I think Shinsuke is going to do his best to get his own traps down this time, because he does have a significant number of things that actually would help You know, he's got Ring and Torrential and Solomon and all that, but he's also got the Chains, which we saw last game, and he's got the Stellar Novas that you've come to expect from Teller Knights at this point as well. So I think it's still important for Shunsuke to take the first turn here and set up some defense, because it's pretty clear who is the aggressor in this match, and it's Ito Marcus.
Yeah, and I mean, you could try and make a fair argument to saying he wants to deny Ito of that additional battle phase by making him go first, but it'll be a bit too dangerous. I think it's too dangerous to do that when he's given up his opportunity to set all his traps.
Yeah.
Because Ito could then get a free Shadow Mist, or trigger a Shadow Mist effect, and then get both halves of it.
It is.
Getting the search.
It's just really scary to let.
And he could just go Dark Claw straight on you, and then your D-nubs all of a sudden become really, really bad. So I think you're right, yeah. Go first.
And we are going to go first back to the scene, as our players have finished side decking, and look like they're just about ready for the second duel. Now, here's an interesting stat for you. Every single match that you've seen today on the stream has been a 2-0. We have never seen a Game 3, not once, in 4 rounds.
Something we didn't mention today is the round times are actually longer for this tournament. They're actually playing 60-minute rounds.
60-minute rounds, which helps to, because of the extra communication and the like, you need extra time to play. And Shunsuke lets Ito go first.
Okay.
This cost a Teller Knight player previously today.
Yeah. We'll see what he's got the Kinetic Soldier. Yep.
Shadow Mist is special summoned by Hero Lives, which then picks up Mask Change. He searches, adds it to his hand, checks for effects, and now he shuffles up.
I don't know if this is a rumor or if this is something true. Apparently, Ito wasn't going to play the hero deck this weekend, but when he visited a card shop here in Kyoto, he saw the OCG heroes and went, "Oh, these look really cool. I think I'll just get these and build the deck." And that's what he decided to play.
I mean, that card shop was very inviting. That's a pretty great shop. I would not be surprised if many of the players were lulled into, it's like, oh, that's cool, I gotta buy it. That's just what happens when you go into a card shop.
That's what they're there for. Okay, we're going to see lots of
4 face downs.
And take a look at Sunsuke's hand. It's all those traps.
It's all the traps that he would have wanted to have going first. This is exactly what happened back in round 2.
I don't understand why he would make this decision. You know, I mean, that's still a pretty good hand to be going on with, but it's just...
I would have felt better if I was going to be able to make my opponent lose 4,000 life points for nothing. Yeah, thanks to Stellar Nova.
That's true.
4 cards
I don't think we're
face
going to
down.
be seeing an Acid sweeping those away.
And it looks like he's going to go ahead and leave the Unal Kalai in his hand, which will get Stellar Nova live for next turn. Mystic Tomato joins Shadow Mist. And Ito is showing that same aggressive style that he came out with last time around. Attacks with both.
Absolutely fearless, and he doesn't use the mass change here.
I actually like not using the mass change here. He wants to try to wait to see if he can get it as Chain Link 2 or higher, so that cards like Torrential, etc. can't be used.
Ring of Destruction here, pretty good after Ito's given up half of his life points.
However, no space to put it.
Yeah, that's true.
Now we see the Unal Kalai summon.
Yeah, he goes for the mass change.
And that is, I believe, in response to Unal Kalai's effect. We saw Shinsuke point to his Unal Kalai. And that'll get it out at Chain Link 2, which will stop Bottomless Trap Hole, Torrential, etc., which, if I recall correctly, happened to be down in Shinsuke's field.
Yeah, I mean, his out here is to flip the Solemn Warning. Otherwise...
Or the Nova.
Yeah, or he could Nova. Otherwise, you're going to be looking at Shadow Mist is going to get the search, and Dark Law is going to force whatever's sent from the deck to be banished.
Yeah.
He is going to Warning.
He's going to Warning that, and it'll be interesting to see what happens next. So Mass Change is negated completely. That leaves Shadow Mist on the field. And now Unal Kalai sends Deneb to the graveyard. Now, Shinsuke has Oasis down, I believe.
Yeah, that's correct. He has that set from turn 1.
But now he is actually lower on life points than Ito, so the Ring of Destruction he had that was previously useful is not so much now.
Yeah, I mean, when you get to the extreme late, Ring of Destruction becomes a dead card, especially when your opponent's life points are sort of hovering around the 2600 mark. Then the monsters that you generally want to destroy with Ring of Destruction, you can't because your opponent's life points are too low.
Urukalai attacks into Shadow Mist.
And Ring of Destruction being played. That is...
Ito wants to cut Shinsuke's life points in half with that Ring of Destruction.
Do you Stellar Nova Alpha this?
That's a good question.
He could Oasis of Dragon Souls.
Yeah, I think you might do it if only to get another card deeper into your deck, but
Okay, no.
chains to it with the Oasis. Oh, and that gets him the Deneb out as Chainlink 2. All right, 1,800 each. Shinsuke's life points are cut in half. Ito Marcus down to 22. Deneb is summoned in defense position.
And we're going to see a Deneb search
For Altair. Normal summon already used this turn.
for the Unokohai.
Actually, yes. Already used this turn because he held back on it last time.
If you're Ito, you must be eyeing up that Kinetic Soldier, knowing at any point if Shinsuke leaves a monster in attack mode, you've just got to win on a normal summon.
Indeed. And it's a continuous effect to gain that attack points.
So he
gain
can't-
those attack points, so you can't Stellar Nova either.
Okay, he sets Ring of Destruction.
Deneb's defense is 1,000.
Oh, Fairy Wind, okay. That's going to deal an extra 300 points of damage as well.
It's interesting that he sided that in. I would not have expected it. But I guess it's something that you can chain to these Call of the Haunted-like effects.
And being so aggressive with the way he's playing his monsters, that burn damage is also incredibly relevant. In this case, that's going to just be 2 more direct attacks. And the Ring of Destruction doesn't do anything.
And Shinsuke will just be knocked out in a flash. There's nothing that can...
I think they came and saved the day. Like, quite quickly in this case.
So Shinsuke is probably thinking right now, is it possible to use my ring to get another face-up card on the field so that after Fairy Wind destroys it, Ito will lose? It could be that he's just going to try to get enough stuff face up so that the Fairy Wind itself will defeat Ito. But I don't know that he has the cards required for such a chain. And he goes Telenova Alpha.
Still gets destroyed, which is what Ito was going for. He's just saved himself 300 life points and drawn an additional card, which is Soul Charge, not one you want to have at this stage of the game.
Not going to help, but he has to get out of this turn. Kinetic
Just
Soldier
summons
is
the Kinetic
summoned.
Soldier. A quick read is saying, wait, what?
Ito does not care what might be down there.
He's just playing with no fear of Mirror Force or Torrential or anything. He's just summon, attack, attack, attack. He must be just thinking, if my opponent could have done something, he probably would have by now.
Yeah, he would have by now. But Shinsuke is doing everything in his power to make it look like he can do something, even if he can't.
He should know at this point that Ito is not going to back down. He's not shown any sign of not pushing his monsters forward every single turn he's
And
had.
this is actually what happened to Shinsuke last year, too. He tried to basically stop his opponents after every action to make it look like he had something, and nobody cared. And that's how he got knocked out in the final round.
Yeah, I think he's considering every possibility, but
Activates Fiendish Chain.
okay, there's still 2 attacks in that can win, and Ring of Destruction on either of them still allows the other one to inflict lethal damage.
2350 is the combined remaining attacks. Kinetic Soldier attacks. And Shinsuke goes back to thinking again. I don't remember what his other card is,
Space Typhoon.
but it's not actually useful.
Yeah, I think he's pretty much out here. He doesn't want to he doesn't want to give up if he thinks there might be a move, he doesn't want to just let these attacks come through. He wants to be 100% certain before he says, yeah, I've lost this game.
I think it's just a scare tactic. I think he's just trying to make Ito overthink, and I think he should have realized by now that that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
because Ito's got his number. He knows what's up.
You can just see how quickly he's shoving those cards at his opponent, that he is not going to back down, regardless of how much you try and bluff your opponent.
He takes another look at Kinetic Soldier, which does nothing,
Well, I
because
mean,
it's not battling a warrior.
that even blanks out Call of the Haunted to try and block the attack, because Kinetic Soldier just runs straight over it and beats you anyway.
Yeah, you'd have to take the hit from Kinetic and then flip call.
There we go.
But
That's
he
it.
hasn't got it, and Shunsuke Hyama goes down in 2 games
And
in round 5.
Yeah. Mystic Tomato just running over people. Didn't even trigger it. Lightning fast, finishing on a 4-1 record at the end of today. That should make sure he gets through to day 2.
Mr. Tomato's just an extremely terrifying card, along with his buddy Kinetic Soldier.
Didn't even need to trigger it. Just this.
Yeah, he just needed the body.
Yeah, the 1400 was really good, because you do see hero decks a lot of the time actually just playing the bare minimum hero cards and then playing the rest as their cards, and they sometimes lack just a little bit of minor pressure damage. Considering how the game has moved on from the past, you used to make these small pressure moves, like for example, summoning the Sangan and just poking to try and force your opponent to give up removal on it when you were trying to make these exchanges.
Make them waste something on Sangan so you can search.
And now the time's gone by so fast, like just not summoning a Sangan and attacking, of course it's forbidden, but if you could, would...
I mean, that's
probably-
Shadow Mist.
Yeah.
He basically summoned another 1,000 attack monster that searches if you destroy
Yeah,
it.
it's just like, yeah, just keep attacking, you have to deal with this. And he just couldn't. We didn't, in that game, we didn't even see Mass Change appear. It was just regular guys beating him down.
Oh, it appeared once. Well, not that game. He tried to play it.
Yeah,
but
and it
got
got
negated this time
warning.
around. So, in an improbable turn of events, all 5 matches on our live stream for day 1 turn up to be very swift 2-0 victories. Well, 4 swift ones and 1 very long one. That is it for the Swiss rounds tonight. The final standings will be available after the completion of all the rest of the matches. And we'll see you tomorrow with the top 8 matches at about 9:45 Japan time.
Yeah, it might be a little bit longer. We're
So,
not entirely sure. But,
West Coast, think about 5:45 p.m. East Coast, prime time, 9 a.m. How about for Europe?
1 a.m., 2 a.m.-ish, depending on where you're from.
Depending on how dedicated you are to
Yeah.
watching this World Championship.
All the power to you. I believe a lot of the most of these videos are going to be available on YouTube as well. So if you have fallen asleep or some point and go, oh no, I just missed that match of Ito going at it, then by all means, hit up one of those videos and you can watch and see all the action over this weekend.
All right. That'll wrap it up for us tonight. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you later.
It's been a pleasure.